Let me give you a guided tour. Let us learn some more. Hi guys, I'm back with some more history, and this time it's gonna be a small video series on the battle at Visby 1361. But this one is too big to do in one video, so I'm gonna do a small video series, and this one is gonna be on the civil war at Gotland, the small island in the Baltic Sea, 1288, and the repercussions of that, because those, I believe, was quite important for the battle 73 years later, 1361, when the Danes occupied. So let's get to it. By the way, I'm the historian. There is a memorial stone at Halla, east of Roma, on the middle of the island, where it says, I'm gonna say this in Swedish first, the inscription, and then I'm gonna tell you the inscription in English, okay? Här stod slaget mellan Gotlands bönder och Visbys borgare 1288. Here stood the battle between Gotland's farmers and Visby's citizens, 1288. The problem with this stone is that it's not from the from the era. Okay, it's too well preserved for that. It's not possible for that stone to be in this condition. Before the Civil War, Gotland was a sovereign state with its own rule, its own law, regional law, which predates all the regional laws in Sweden at this time. Sweden had for a long time regional laws where each landscape or region had its own law, which could differ quite a bit from each part of the country. So the king was actually a king of different sovereign states, which just managed to have one king ruling all the states, so to speak. Quite similar to USA today, actually, if you think about it. But the idea is Gotland had its own sovereignty at this time, its own rule. They didn't recognize a king. The trade was extremely lucrative at this time. They had so much trade that's just amazing. Part of it was because the naval technology made it more or less impossible for trading ships to go past Gotland in the Baltic Sea. They had to dock at Gotland to restock the water and food supplies. And when they docked for restocking, they could just as well do a bit of trading. And the Gotlanders themselves went on trading quite a bit also. Quite large amounts of silver and gold has been found on Gotland from this era. And eras before as well, okay? The cause of the war, accordingly to the Visby underkastelsebrev, which translates Visby letter of subjugation. Yeah, that's a mouthful. According to this, which is a letter that the Visby ruling class sent to the king after the war, stating why they went to war, basically. It was because they built a city wall, the Visby ring wall, that is still a mark of the entire Gotland island as a whole today. That was the cause of the war, basically. Because it was built to deny the farmers access to the trading at the harbor. And that was quite a ballsy move for the for the city to make, okay? Which meant they choked off the farmers' trading quite effectively. That was not something they could tolerate. Gotland became a part of Sweden under Magnus Law, the laws, which was king of Sweden at this time. He also then made the agreements between the farmers and the city. And he also, in the same move, picked up Gotland as part of Sweden. And Magnus Law, the laws, has a bit funny name. He made quite a number of laws which prohibited nobility and so on from making basically stealing food and drink and so on from anyone. He put that name comes from this law he made, which means Magnus Ladislaus, which was actually called in historical documents, which is just the Latinized version of Magnus Law, the laws, which in English means Magnus Barnlock. Yeah, I know it's a bit funny, but it was actually a name arriving from respect from the common man, because he put locks on your barn. The nobles could no longer get in there and take whatever they wanted. But that's a side note. He also banned the taxes on the city gates for the farmers at Visby, so they could get in freely and do their trade as they pleased. The farmers actually won this war, according to the evidence around the entire island of Gotland. The island of Gotland is littered with churches all over the place. You can barely throw a rock in any direction. If you stand anywhere on the island, put a blindfold on, pick up a rock and throw it, and you're damn well gonna hit a church from this era. And most of the churches are built between the years 1288 and 1361, between the years of the Civil War and the Battle of Visby. 73 years, and they built so many churches that it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And most of them actually stand today. Most of them stand today. So if you get a chance to go to Gotland, don't forget to check out the churches, okay? There's a good chance it's from this era. And this was actually a golden age for Gotland farmers, with a lot of trade. And because all of these churches are founded on the idea that if I get a lot of money, I'm gonna build a church so I can ensure my place in heaven. And that is, it's quite astonishing how many stone churches are actually built at this time. It's just ridiculous. And Visby at this time was also a vibrant city of enormous trade. It was so much trade. It was one of the most richest cities and islands in the entire northern hemisphere. Farmers. Where was I? Visby had to pay a heavy fine, according to the letter of subjugation, about 2,000 silver marks to the king, Magnus Law, and 500 marks to the farmers. And at the same time, we are usually taught in school today that the Visby won this war. How the hell does that make sense? Why would the winning side pay tribute and fines to the losing side? That doesn't make any sense. No, the countryside won the war, and the Visby side paid the fines. And so there's no actual foundation to state that Visby actually won this war. They lost it big time. But I think that is for now. And give me your thoughts on this in the comments below. If you have any thoughts on what I should do kind of video, if you want something that you want me to make, please tell me that too. And I'll see you later. Bye bye.
Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe.